It is time. There we go. All right. Welcome to the October edition of the Conway Planning Commission meeting. And if Ethan can call the roll for us, we'll get started.
Yes, Rebecca Fincher is absent. Drew Spurger.
Here.
I am Ethan Reed. Lori Quinn.
Here.
Mark Ferguson.
Here.
Alexander Bainey.
Here.
Jensen Tilke.
Here.
Jay Winborn.
Here.
Brooks Davis.
Here.
And Tanisha Roundtree is absent.
All right. And that finds a quorum. So we will call our meeting to order tonight. First thing that we'll do here is take a motion to approve the September 16th minutes. Hope everyone received those from Ethan and had a chance to review.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion from Lori.
Second.
And a second from Jensen. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, so the Conway Planning Commission makes recommendations to the City Council on public hearing items. Items reviewed on this agenda will be considered by the City Council as early as November 12th, 2024. And items not approved by the Planning Commission or Board of Zoning Adjustment may be appealed to the City Council within 30 days of the date of denial. And with that, we will dive into our agenda for tonight for a subdivision review. Lauren, you have us here?
So just some housekeeping for tonight. These are all subdivision reviews, so nothing is a public hearing. All the applicants obviously are welcome to speak, but we won't have any questions from the public. So the first item is preliminary plat approval for Willow Ridge subdivision. It is 430 feet west of the intersection of Meadow Lake Road and West Street. Currently address is 1809 and 1811 Meadow Lake Road. The property is 6.14 acres and zoned R2, which is low density residential. It will compose of Meadow Lake Road as the entrance and then a cul-de-sac street that will extend through the subdivision as Willow Ridge Circle, excuse me. They are proposing 17 lots in this subdivision, and lots range from 0.19 to 1 acre, which is consistent for R2 zones. Lots 1 through 15 will be either single family or duplex development. Both can be met on those lots. Lot 16 is currently developed with a single-family home and will retain that way, at least for the preliminary plat at this time. Lot 17 will also later develop as it is right now. It is part of the subdivision, but it probably will further develop. 30 foot of right-of-way will be dedicated along Meadow Lake Road with the filing of the final plat. The newly proposed street, Willow Ridge Circle, aligns with Meadow Lake Drive, which is to the north there, or Market Plaza Drive, excuse me. The developer is responsible for all sidewalks along Meadow Lake Road, and then as the lots develop, the builder of each lot will develop and put those sidewalks in at that time. Tract A is unbuildable. It's detention for the subdivision. All easements are on there as well, and at this time, it does align with the subdivision regulations and the comprehensive plan to provide opportunities for a variety of housing choices, both suitable and affordable throughout the city for desirable surroundings for the needs of citizens. There are a few corrections needed on the plat, and then it has been conditioned appropriately. We did grant one administrative waiver for lot depth. For lot 1, all subdivisions have to have, each lot has to be 100 foot deep, with that corner lot there on the northwest corner with the radius, it's around 97 and some change. So we did grant an administrative waiver for that because we do have the right within a 10% numeric to grant that. So I just wanted y'all to be aware of that. But all of the other lots can conform to the subdivision regulations. And with that, that is it.
Anyone have any questions for Lauren?
Nope.
All right, is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? All right, you know the drill. As you make your way forward, please state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Patrick Hagman, 240 Skyline Drive. I'm with the Tyler Group representing Mr. John Pennington, and we're looking to get this approved.
Great, and you're good with all of the conditions mentioned?
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions? All right, we'll bring it back into commission for any discussion.
Move to approve.
Have
Second.
a motion from Alexander and a second from Ethan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're on to item B, which is a preliminary plat approval at Quail Meadow.
Yes, so you guys, some of the older folks on the commission who've been here a while may have remembered this one. It's Quail Meadows. It's going to be also developed as well with the property to the west. Later on, we've been waiting for the extension of utilities out here for a few years. But this one is to the east. It is 31.03 acres, currently zoned R1. It's proposed to be 118 lots, with lots that range from 0.15 to 0.24 acres, which is consistent with the zoning of the area and the comprehensive plan. There are a bunch of internal streets that come off of Lower Ridge Road that will move throughout the subdivision. All internal streets will require sidewalks, and those will be constructed at the time of platting or development of each lot. The subdivider will be required to put sidewalks along East Sherman Lane there. Like I said, it's compatible with the area. They have coordinated extension of utilities with Conway Corp. And like I said, this extension will be good for another year. At that time, they will have those times to install the streets, get approved street and drainage plans, and whatnot. There are 7 conditions with this plat. There was 1 waiver requested, which y'all will need to include with your vote tonight. It's for the creation of double frontage lots, which is there along Lower Ridge Road. As you can see, lots 1 through 8 have frontage on Boxwood Drive and Lower Ridge Road. Most likely there will be a planning easement installed along Lower Ridge, so they can't have access off of those, and they'll all front Boxwood Drive. So that will be something I'll need to consider in your vote tonight. Any questions?
Since that is a rare thing, everybody understand what Lauren's talking about? Have any questions there?
Do we have to do 2 votes? One for the variance and one for the...
You can do one, unless for some reason we cannot confer that this will be an approved vote.
Yep.
But it is very common to have double frontage lots in subdivisions of this nature and the size when you're fronting on major and minor and even collector streets.
Okay. Any questions for Lauren?
One last, okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
our vote for the variance would be for Boxwood to be the front access and not to have access.
Correct.
Okay.
And you'll see, we'll have this done in the midst between approval tonight. There will be a planning easement installed so folks cannot access off of,
Gotcha.
because we don't want curb cuts additionally on East
Right.
or Lower Ridge Road there.
Right.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions for Lauren? All right, is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? All right, as you make your way forward, you state your name and address for the official record. Can you say that for me one more time, just so the mic can pick you up for our friends online?
Jacob Longing, 2740 Harbell Drive.
Great.
And yeah, she pretty much covered it. I guess if y'all have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Longing?
Are you good with all the?
Yeah, with the conditions, are you good?
Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
That's the only way I want to do it.
Great.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
y'all.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll bring it back into commission for any discussion.
Make a motion to approve with the requested variance?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Ethan and a second from Jay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries, and we are on to item C, a preliminary plat approval for Miller's Creek.
So this is the property immediately to the west that we just discussed. It meets at the intersection of Lower Ridge Road and East German Lane. It's currently 26.80 acres and is split zoned R2 along East German Lane, and then the interior is R1 single family. It does align with the comprehensive plan for this area and the Lower Ridge Road corridor study. The applicant's proposing 93 lots that range from 0.36 to 0.79 acres, which does align with, like I said, the comp plan and the zoning in this area. It will have 2 access points, both off of East Sherman Lane, and as you can see, it will also tie into the subdivision to the east of here as well. Applicant will have to construct sidewalks along the major street frontages. Everything interior will be done at the time of building permitting. There is yet again another waiver for that double frontage lot creation, which will run all of Lower Ridge Road down to the East Sherman Lane lots. You'll see that wrap all the way around. Like I said, 93 acres is consistent with the zoning of the area. They have preliminary plat approval. That will be a per me year of the date of approval of that plat. There are 4 conditions or corrections, that need to be made on the plat, and 6 conditions proposed. So like the last one, we'll just need to also approve of a waiver at the time of voting as well.
All right, any questions for Lauren? All right, and is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? You know the drill, name and address.
Bobby French, 1021 Front Street. Yeah, we don't have a problem. I did have a question. I know on the,
Up in the mic if you don't mind, just for
on the
online.
south side of this, which is, we abut the Longing deal over there, and I've talked with Conway Corp, I think a little bit about it. They're not a minor arterial on the south going east, there on the very south down here. I thought we were talking about running sewer down that line that I talked to. I think there's a, and we'll have to dedicate, I know when we were doing our master plan, I was surprised that there wasn't a one on that other.
We'll wait for brain power over there to.
But when we did the property to the west over there, we had to dedicate some right of way, like 40 foot, I think. I think there's a minor arterial planned on that line down there. That would affect us. We kind of changed our plan to match that. While we had the street running all the way south, we did have a street that stubbed out to the east down there on the south, and since they had that minor arterial, we just took it south there. Okay.
That purple dotted line right there will be a proposed minor arterial.
So we have to dedicate 40 foot on each side.
And we'll make
Our phase won't come down that far, but
Mr. Longing does.
yeah, but his will. And I think they were talking about running sewer when I talked to Conway Court maybe over there. Before it got too far.
Okay, so Lauren, I hope you're ready to teach. What does that change for us?
Nothing really tonight. Obviously, when they resubmit V2 plans that we'll look at, they'll have to dedicate that right of way. We can obviously make sure they do that, and then before you guys sign or the chair signs the final plat, that will need to be on.
Okay.
So you guys will communicate that with Mr. Longing
Correct.
after
Yes.
tonight? Okay.
Yes.
That's what said. Mr. Longing is still back here. Thumbs up if you're good with that.
I don't think he was listening. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, just one. I think it's a typo, but on the last one, we have lots ranging from 0.15 to 0.24 acres. And then here on this one, it says 0.36 to 0.79. But I mean, the plat has 0.9 acres and stuff. I'm just wondering if that's a typo or if I'm missing something on that. Do you see that on item C? It says in the request. It says 0.30, yeah, right there.
It'll be smaller than 0.36.
Yeah, the plat's showing 0.19. I was just wondering if I was missing something or if that's just a typo.
It's most likely a typo. I see what you're saying now. Yeah. 'Cause I see some that are 0.20.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I guess Ethan will need to note that those are as small as 0.19. Is that what you said, Jensen?
And that's bigger than the minimum.
Correct. They
Larger
still can
than
meet
the-
R1 and R2
Yeah.
lot sizes.
Yeah, because half these lots are R2 and half of them are R1.
Good catch, Jensen. Further questions, comments, confusion?
So none of those lots are within the range provided in this request, based off the plat.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
in the staff directory,
Right.
Correct.
staff report.
I see the largest lot is the detention lot. It's 1.31 acres. And that looks like the smallest is 0.20, maybe some, 0.19. But all of those lots will still conform to both R1 and R2 sizes.
So it's just the paragraph in the request where the
Right.
numbers are wrong.
Yes.
The plat is correct.
Right.
Mhm.
The plat is correct.
And then the minutes will reflect the correct.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Any other questions, concerns? Any questions for Mr. French? All right. We're back into commission. Any discussion?
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve from Alexander
Second, and we are doing with the variance.
With the variance,
correct? Yep.
yes.
Okay.
My apologies there.
and a second from Ethan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. And we are on to preliminary plat approval for Cardinal Valley, item D.
So this is for Phase 2 of the Cardinal Valley subdivision. It's currently near the intersection of Czar, Carolyn, and Billbell Lane. Property is zoned R1 single family. It's 3.88 acres. The applicant is proposing a 16-lot subdivision at the area with 0.15 to 0.39 acre lots, which is consistent with R1 zoning and the area. The subdivision will have an internal street network that's going to tie in from Carolyn that will then butt back out to Bilbell Lane. There are access for lots 12 through 15 via an alley that's proposed within the subdivision there in the middle. All internal streets will require 5-foot sidewalks with 6.5 green space, and we will have a few just mentions here. So an administrative waiver was granted for this because lot number 15 cannot meet the 100-foot depth requirement. You'll see there it's 96.36 feet deep. So we did grant an administrative waiver for that lot. However, as the Planning Commission, you guys will also need to look at granting a possible waiver for lots number 7 and 12. The subdivision regulations do not allow us to plat a lot 4 times as wide as it is deep, or 4 times as deep as it is wide. So you'll see lot 6 or 12 there is 60 feet deep or wide, but 271 feet deep. And the same with lot 7. It's a very long, skinny lot. We cannot, as staff, administratively grant those. Only the Planning Commission can approve those. Yet again, as stated, there are 3 corrections on the plat, 5 conditions. Everything does align with the comprehensive plan. There are just some constraints to the lot. It's a triangular shaped lot in an odd area. The street configuration eats up a lot of the developable area. So that's why we are seeing some variances and waivers requested on this lot. Any questions?
So like the alleyway, is that providing access to those?
Yes, lots numbers 15 through 12 will not have access to Bilbell Drive. You see there's a 20-foot easement and planting screen, so they will only have access via that alley, and they'll be basically probably rear loading. So they'll access that way.
So they'll enter off
Of Carolyn and then
Carolyn
go through the
over
alley.
and come through the alley. Okay. Similar to some of the houses at the village?
Correct.
Okay.
And we do have alley street details that they'll have to meet. They'll have to meet drainage criteria and everything like that as well. They're not just going to be a paved piece of.
And just since we're here with nothing else to discuss, planting screen, is that,
Sure.
Learn me a little bit there.
No, very common when we have double frontage-ish type lots. These are fronting on an alley, but it's because we don't want folks using 2 accesses. We don't want 12 curb cuts coming off of Bilbell for each one of those lots. We want people to have to go through the subdivision and access it. That also keeps, if people have fences, from installing fences with gates and then backing up vehicles or boats that may not really be intended, because we all have driven that area. That road travels pretty fast, and it's developed down there. But planting screens are very common when we have lots that are fronting along collector streets, minor and major arterials, so folks are not accessing all of those.
Is a planting screen the same thing as a vegetative buffer?
No.
Okay, what's a defined?
It's basically just reserved green space. They are allowed to plant in it, but a lot of folks just put a fence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I learned
No
something
problem.
tonight. All right. Any other questions for Lauren? All right. Is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? Deja vu.
Bobby French, 1021 Front Street. As Lauren said, we've gone around with this piece of property 100 times trying to find something with it, zoning and everything else. This is basically the best we could do with it. I mean, we ended up last minute after we submitted it. We got some comments back, and we ended up even taking another lot out because it had some. I actually like it better after we took the lot out of it. But
Was this one of Mr. Shaw's properties?
it was the piece of property that Mr. Shaw sold because he couldn't hardly make it work.
This is the one we looked at for storage
Yeah,
units.
yeah, it tied on. It was Mr.
Yeah.
Shaw's property, and he's like, "Well, this is going to be tough to develop," so he sold it.
Let's let the record reflect
my
that we
client-
miss
yeah.
his spirit here tonight.
Yeah, but yeah, this is the last little piece there that's kind of ties in to Conway Court's property there on the south, so it'd be the kind of the end of the development. There in
Good
that
work
area.
figuring it out, Bobby.
Yeah, it's been fun for
All
sure.
right. Any questions for Mr. French? All right, we're back into commission.
Move to approve
With the variance.
with the variance. Thank you,
Second.
Ethan, for keeping me straight.
A motion from Alexander and a second from Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So just to be clear, you guys are granting the lot size
Yes.
Yes, correct.
because it's on that there's an administrative waiver and then that
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Lauren?
we are approving
way. Okay.
both
Y'all,
both waivers.
staff already approved the administrative.
Correct.
So it was
Lot
done.
15.
We're granting that the
Mhm.
depth can be so much longer than the width.
For lot 7 and 12. Yep.
Just making sure.
Oh, thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, thanks for checking.
All right, and Lauren, our last one.
All right, so we have two more, and these are both extensions. So as it sits, when it comes to preliminary plat approval, from the date the chair signs it, that means we have an approved preliminary plat, that means we have approved street and drainage plans, and that means we have an approved drainage report. The developer has 1 year then from the date of that plat to get all of those improvements done. If they do not, they can extend for 1 year that preliminary plat approval. So that's what we're seeing on this one and the next one. So the first one is for Lands End Phase 2. It's right at the terminus of Tyler Street, all the way in West Conway, where it meets Paget Road. This is for 18.53 acres, and at the time of development, this was Phase 2 of Lands End R1 subdivision. The original preliminary plat was granted January 17th of 2023. As of now, construction has not started or improvements of those streets. So basically, the applicant is just here tonight to request approval of that 1 year extension. We've included the prior comments from staff at the time of the application, any corrections that are still needed on the plat, and then conditions that were still outstanding if they have any.
So it's just the rest of that phase, because they've done part of that.
Yes.
Southwinds has, well, but Southwinds has houses on it, yeah.
So they haven't gotten all
On
of
the
the infrastructure.
part.
Like the halfway in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is previously approved, we're just renewing the approval
Correct. Y'all
essentially.
approved this back, well, it was signed by the chair at January 17th, 2023.
We just need a motion to,
Give him another year.
Do we still need to hear from Bobby again, or no?
Sure, he's here. Make him
Great.
get up.
Is the applicant here to
Talking,
speak?
that's great. I can talk
Right.
again. No, it's the subdivision done.
yeah.
I mean, so we're wanting to file like tomorrow or whenever they can, as soon as we can get the final plat approved. I mean, but it was just timeline. When we talked to Ann, I was like, man, we need to move this to 2 years. You can't hardly build a subdivision in a year anymore with everything. But
It's on the list,
this
Bobby.
that's on the list. That's what we're going
It's
to
on
check.
the
We're going to make
list.
it better. But no, yes, we just need variance. We're ready to. I think it's paved. Everything's done. We're ready to go.
Got it. Well, if anyone wants to make Bobby's life difficult and lengthen our meeting tonight, go ahead. Any comments or discussion from the commission?
Make a motion to approve the extension?
All right, a motion from Ethan and a second from Jay. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, and this was a teaser last time when I said this is the last one. Now it really is.
Now it is the last one. So this is Bird's Nest Phase 2. Tommy Car Wash is immediately to the west. It's where Clayton Homes currently is, out on East Dave Ward. They got preliminary plat approval back at the April 17th, 2023 Planning Commission, and they got approval by the chair on June 7th of 2023. At this time, they have not completed all of the infrastructure that they're wanting to. Improvement has not finished, so they're just asking for another year. And once they get that done, obviously we'll have them submit a final plat, file it, and we'll be good to go. But the same conditions stand, same staff comments. We're just waiting for that final plat.
All right, any questions for Lauren? Bobby, why not? One more time, huh?
Bobby French, 1021 Front Street. I think they're wanting to move forward with this project. You know, it's kind of been, I think they've been trying to get some feelers out there, and I think they've got a couple lots possibly sold, so they're wanting to move forward and kind of get it going.
Any questions for Mr. French? Thank you, sir. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. All right, back into commission. Any discussion?
Make a motion to approve the extension?
We have a motion from Ethan.
Seconded.
Jensen?
got
Yeah,
it.
Jensen got that one. All right, Jensen, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that passes, and that's the conclusion of our agenda for tonight. For the chair or staff, any chair, director, or staff, any announcements?
I don't have any. I need to talk to
We just have one in the appendix. We did one more subdivision administrative waiver back last month for the Orzoco subdivision. It was basically because they did not have enough street frontage. they had to move a lot line, and we administratively approved it because it was within the 10% metric. We are reporting it to you guys because we're required to.
Great.
But it
Was that from the small update to the zoning code we made last year? We all could do this
Yes, from
administrative
Article
waivers.
7.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
Otherwise,
So
it'd
we
have to
can
be a
streamline
variance.
and file
Yeah.
minor plats and stuff faster.
Beautiful.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
All right. One announcement on my end for anyone interested, boards and commissions are open. So if you're interested in being a part of local government, go to conwayarkansas.gov and you can look for openings on boards and commissions, including the one that we are sitting on. Those are open now. They'll close October 31st. So if you are interested, you may go online to apply and be a part of this lovely government. Tree Board, Historic District, BPAP, Planning Commission, Art Board, there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
So lots of options there. Anything else from the commission? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion from Mark.
That was our slowest
All in
one.
favor? Aye. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll see you back next month.
And y'all just think we would not even be meeting yet if we
I
had not
know.
changed.